Every morning, you sit at your kitchen table, you wrap that cuff around your arm, and you wait. Tell me, what time do you usually take your morning reading? You take your pills exactly as prescribed, you cut out the salt, you do everything right. But that top number just keeps creeping up, doesn't it? You've probably been told it's just normal aging, that your pipes are just getting old. But what if I told you the real damage is happening in a place your doctor's test can't even see? To understand the silent enemy hardening your arteries, we have to look much closer. Have you ever wondered what actually makes your blood flow smoothly? Most people think high blood pressure is the disease. It's not. It is merely the symptom of a deeply damaged defense system inside your vessels. And while you're busy worrying about those two numbers on the screen, feeling completely fine on the outside, a microscopic war is being lost on the inside. Imagine the inside of your blood vessels is lined with a slick, non-stick coating, exactly like a brand new Teflon pan. In medicine, we call this the endothelial glycocalyx. It's a microscopic biological armor. As long as it's intact, everything glides right through perfectly. But every time you have a blood sugar spike or chronic stress, this vital protective armor gets violently scratched and torn away. Once that Teflon coating is gone, cholesterol and calcium don't just float by anymore. They crash directly into the naked artery wall, embedding themselves deep inside. This is the exact moment your arteries begin to stiffen. This is why you feel exhausted even after resting. How many hours of sleep did you actually get last night? Because without that biological armor, your blood vessels become as rigid as a rusted iron pipe. They simply cannot expand when your heart pumps. And when they can't expand, the pressure inside rockets upward. Your systolic number, that dangerous top number, shoots straight into the red zone. And here is the terrifying part. Standard blood tests at your doctor's office completely miss belly destruction. But don't lose hope. This biological armor can be rebuilt. By the end of this video, I will show you exactly how to regenerate it. Are you ready to take back control? Let's step away from the medical charts for a moment. Think about your favorite non-stick cooking pan. When it's brand new, nothing sticks to it, right? Eggs, oil, everything just slides right off effortlessly. Yeah. Inside your blood vessels, you have something remarkably similar. It's a microscopic, jelly-like layer called the endothelial glycocalyx. This is your biological armor. It's the ultimate non-stick surface, designed to keep your blood flowing and your arteries flexible. But just like your joints, this armor takes a beating over the years. What kind of aches and pains are you waking up with these days? Over time, bad habits act like a metal spatula, scraping away at that protective layer. It gets scratched, torn, and stripped away. High blood sugar spikes are the worst offenders. They literally sandblast this delicate lining from the inside out. That innocent-looking snack you had this afternoon, if it spiked your insulin, it just scraped another piece of your armor away. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker, stickier. It drags against the bare artery wall like sandpaper. And so many of us avoid drinking water at night so we don't have to wake up. But that midnight dehydration is silently causing damage. Without hydration, the protective layer dries up. Your veins become like a parched riverbed, struggling to keep the flow moving. Once the glycocalyx is stripped away, your arteries are left naked. This is when cholesterol finally has a place to stick. Your body tries to heal the scratch, but instead, it creates a swollen scab inside the vessel. This is the plaque that clogs your arteries. You want to be there for them, right? You want to run around the yard without feeling like your chest is tight. But as that plaque builds up, the artery walls become rigid, thick, and stiff, just like old, calcified plumbing. This is why your systolic blood pressure, the top number, shoots up. The heart is forcing blood through hardened pipes. You sit in the clinic, waiting for the results, hoping the numbers are good enough. But numbers don't tell the whole story. There is a hidden superpower within your vessels, a tiny molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the master signal that tells your arteries to relax, open up, and let the pressure drop safely. Think of it as at the tightly coiled spring finally releasing its tension. But here's the tragedy. When your biological armor is destroyed, your body loses the ability to produce this vital molecule. Do your hands and feet constantly feel cold, even when it's not winter? That's your microvessels starving. Without nitric oxide, the power is cut off. The tiny capillaries simply shut down. This microscopic collapse forces the main arteries to work even harder, driving that top number dangerously higher. And the blood pressure machine you use every day? It doesn't tell you any of this. Measuring your blood pressure is like staring at a warning light on the dashboard. It tells you there's a problem, but it doesn't fix the engine. Another massive enemy to your biological armor is oxidative stress. It's like rust eating away at the cellular level. And those inflammatory seed oils in processed foods, they act like a blowtorch to your delicate vespal linings. The damage isn't loud. You don't feel it happening. It scorches the surface quietly and continuously, year after year. Once the nonstick surface is scorched, your own immune cells get trapped in the sticky residue. The inflammation spirals out of control. And this is why piling on more medications often leaves you feeling weak and exhausted. Medications force the pressure down, but they don't repair the torn armor. It's like turning off an alarm while the fire is still burning. If you artificially force the heart to pump less, but the pipes are still blocked, your brain and organs don't get the oxygen they need. Have you ever stood up quickly and felt the room spin? Oh. That's your brain screaming for blood flow. When you over-medicate a stiff vascular system, your organs wilt. They slowly starve. And the ultimate danger? A piece of that rigid, brittle plaque snapping off under pressure. And we don't want to live in fear. We want to live to see our grandchildren graduate, right? Resilience. That's what we're aiming for. A vascular system that can bend, adapt, and weather the storm. And here is the incredible news. The endothelial glycocalyx is remarkably resilient. It wants to rebuild. If you give it the right tools, it can regenerate. Tell me, what steps are you taking today to protect your vital armor? So, you get your blood work done, your cholesterol looks okay, your doctor says you're fine. But standard blood tests are like security cameras looking at the wrong room. They don't measure the damage to your biological armor. But your body gives you clues. That heavy fatigue after a short walk, that's your microvessels struggling. Your blood vessels have lost their elasticity. They're like an old, brittle rubber band. But here is where we change the story. The glycocalyx is a living, breathing armor. It can heal. If you stop the daily damage and provide the right materials, those microscopic hairs will literally regrow. Step one is movement, but not punishing, exhausting exercise. That just creates more stress. We need gentle, rhythmic movement. Think of a steady, calm river sweeping away debris. When you take a brisk walk, the The blood flowing against the vessel walls creates a healthy friction. This friction commands the armor to rebuild. Points to the screen with a nod. Step 2. Give your body the building blocks. You can't repair a brick wall with just water. Dark leafy greens and dark berries act like tiny shields, absorbing the oxidative stress before it can scorch your vessels. They literally blanket your vulnerable arteries, cooling down the inflammation. Step 3, hydration. It sounds too simple, but it is the foundation of your vascular health. Adequate water instantly thins your blood. It stops the dragging, scratching friction against your healing armor. Your stiff vessels literally soften and expand when properly hydrated. And finally, you must command your nervous system to stand down. Chronic stress pumps adrenaline, keeping those vessels clamped tight. Deep breathing literally forces them to release their grip. It's like telling your heart it doesn't have to fight anymore. It can finally rest. When you combine these steps, the magic happens. The biological armor heals. The pipes become flexible again. And that dangerously high top number, it starts to drift back down naturally, without feeling weak or dizzy. The engine is fixed, not just the warning light. This isn't about chasing the numbers you had when you were 30. It's about protecting your brain and protecting your heart. You don't have to be a victim to stiffening arteries. You have the power to change the environment inside your vessels. It's about keeping your independence, breaking free from the fear of a sudden event. Remember, the damage is not permanent. Your body's ability to heal is far greater than anyone told you. It is never too late to start rebuilding your armor. Are you ready to take the first step today? A new day for your vascular health begins the moment you decide to protect it. When you protect the microvessels, the entire system thrives. Every organ, every muscle, every thought. This is what we are fighting for. The energy to enjoy the best years of our lives. You want to be like that sturdy bridge, flexible enough to handle the pressure, strong enough to endure. Nods reassuringly. Lowering inflammation is the secret weapon. It extinguishes the fire inside your vessels. Now, a crucial warning. Never stop your current medications blindly. That is dangerous. Medications are your life raft. They keep you safe while you work on repairing the ship itself. Once your internal armor is rebuilt, you and your doctor can discuss safely adjusting your doses. The goal isn't just surviving. The goal is thriving with flexible, youthful arteries. Your body is an incredible machine. Treat it with respect, give it the right environment, and it will reward you. Because when your top number goes down the right way, your brain lights up, your energy returns, and you stop worrying about being a burden. You get back to being you. Knowledge is your lighthouse. Now that you see the hidden danger, you know exactly how to avoid it. Never forget the name of your invisible defender. Protect your glycocalyx, and it will protect your life. The power isn't just in the pill bottle. The real power is in your daily choices. You now have the map. You know exactly what's happening behind those blood pressure numbers. Your arteries can heal. Your pressure can drop. Your future can be secure. Now I want to hear from you. After watching this, what is the one thing you will do differently tomorrow morning to protect your hidden armor? Tell me in the comments below. So you understand how important your vascular armor is. But do you know what's actually destroying it every single day? It usually starts with something innocent. A sweet breakfast. A little treat to start the morning. But inside your body, that sweet breakfast just unleashed a violent tidal wave of glucose. High blood sugar spikes don't just float around. They act like tiny shards of glass, violently shredding your non-stick vascular lining. It's exactly like throwing a handful of gravel through a delicate spider web. The destruction is instant. Do you ever feel that sudden, heavy crash around 10 a.m. where you can barely keep your eyes open? That crash isn't just you getting older. It's your body entering a state of severe vascular inflammation. When insulin levels stay high constantly, your cells become like a greasy, waterlogged sponge. They refuse to absorb energy. Now, let's talk about cholesterol. For years, you've been told cholesterol is the ultimate villain. But cholesterol can only build up if the biological armor is already destroyed. It's the damage that traps the fat. It's like throwing mud at a glass window. If the glass is perfectly smooth, the mud slides off. If it's scratched, the mud sticks forever. Do your ankles or feet often look swollen and puffy by the end of the day, making your shoes feel tight? That swelling happens because the glycocalyx armor is failing. It acts like a sieve, leaking fluid into your tissues. When the inner lining breaks down, your blood vessels literally start leaking like a cracked hose. And what about salt? We've all been warned to hide the salt shaker. But again, the story is incomplete. A healthy, thick glycocalyx acts like a sponge for salt. It safely absorbs sodium, keeping it away from your sensitive vessel walls. But when your armor is stripped away, that salt hits the bare artery wall directly. The vessel instantly swells and stiffens. This direct assault causes extreme pressure spikes. This is why a salty dinner can lead to a dangerous midnight surge in blood pressure. The vessel clamps down. The heart has to pump twice as hard to push the blood through the narrow, stiffened tube. But there's a destroyer even worse than sugar or salt. One that you carry with you everywhere. Stress. Chronic worry and stress bathe your arteries in cortisol. This hormone acts like acid, melting away the protective hairs of your armor. Like a delicate plant exposed to toxic fumes, the armor simply wilts and dies. Do you find yourself constantly worrying about the future? Or maybe worrying about your health numbers? Ironically, the stress of worrying about your blood pressure is exactly what causes it to stay dangerously high. And then there is the silent thief that steals your recovery time. A lack of deep sleep. Your biological armor only rebuilds during the deepest phases of sleep. It's when the repair crew goes to work. If you only sleep in short, restless bursts, the repair crew never finishes the job. The armor stays broken. How many nights do you wake up at 2 a.m. and just lie there, staring at the ceiling?
Every night of poor sleep accelerates the stiffening of your arteries. It guarantees your top number will be dangerously high the next morning.
And I must mention toxins, not just smoking, but the hidden toxins in our everyday environment. Wrinkles nose slightly in disgust rub. Environmental pollution and toxic chemicals act like a suffocating blanket over your biological armor. They seep into your bloodstream and poison the very cells designed to keep your arteries flexible. But perhaps the most surprising destroyer of your vascular armor is doing nothing at all. Prolonged sitting. When blood flow slows to a crawl, the biological armor stops regenerating. It requires the gentle, sweeping friction of moving blood to stay alive. Without movement, it stagnates and decays. And finally, overeating. Not just what you eat, but how much you force your system to process at once. Every massive meal sends a shockwave of fat and sugar through your system, forcing your microvessels to handle a massive, exhausting load. The system simply gets overwhelmed. The armor breaks under the sheer volume. So, tell me honestly, which of these silent destroyers is currently living in your daily routine? Sighs heavily, shaking head, Dad. But perhaps the most surprising destroyer of your vascular armor is doing nothing at all. Prolonged sitting. When blood flow slows to a crawl, the biological armor literally stops regenerating. It requires the gentle, sweeping friction of moving blood to stay alive. Without movement, your vessels become like a stagnant pond. Toxic, murky, and decaying from the inside. And finally, visceral fat. That stubborn belly fat that seems impossible to lose after 65. This fat isn't just sitting there. It acts as an active chemical factory, pumping inflammation directly into your delicate arteries 24/7. It's like having a leaking battery inside your abdomen, slowly corroding your vital armor. So, you go to the doctor, you get your blood work done, your cholesterol looks okay, they tell you you're fine. But standard blood tests are completely blind to this destruction. They measure the fat in the blood, not the armor on the wall. Relying only on standard tests is like a security camera watching the wrong room while the vault is being robbed. But your body gives you clues. That heavy, unexplained fatigue after doing something simple, that's not just getting old. That is your microvessels struggling and collapsing, starving your muscles of oxygen. Your blood vessels have lost their elasticity. They're like an old, brittle rubber band ready to snap. You might be thinking the damage is already done, that it's too late. But here is where we change the story. The glycocalyx is a living, breathing armor. It wants to heal. If you stop the daily damage and provide the right materials, those microscopic hairs will literally regrow and rebuild the wall. Step one on the map to regeneration is movement, but not punishing, exhausting exercise. We need gentle, rhythmic movement. Think of a steady, calm river methodically sweeping away debris. When you take a brisk 20-minute walk, the blood flowing against the vessel walls creates a healthy friction. This friction commands the armor to rebuild. Points to the screen with a nod. Step 2, give your body the building blocks. You can't repair a damaged brick wall with just water. Dark leafy greens and dark berries act like tiny, powerful shields. They absorb the oxidative stress before it can scorch your vessels. They literally blanket your vulnerable arteries, cooling down the inflammation and allowing the healing to begin. Step 3, hydration. It sounds too simple, but it is the absolute foundation of your vascular health. Adequate water instantly thins your blood. It stops the dragging, scratching friction against your healing armor. Your stiff vessels literally soften and expand when properly hydrated. And finally, you must command your nervous system to stand down. Chronic stress pumps adrenaline, keeping those vessels clamped tight. Deep breathing literally forces them to release their grip. It's like telling your heart it doesn't have to fight anymore. It can finally rest. When you combine these steps, the magic happens. The biological armor heals. The pipes become flexible again. And that dangerously high top number, it starts to drift back down naturally, without feeling weak or dizzy. The engine is fixed. Not just the warning light. This isn't about chasing the numbers you had when you were 30. It's about protecting your brain and protecting your heart. You don't have to be a victim to stiffening arteries. You have the power to change the environment inside your vessels. It's about keeping your independence, breaking free from the constant fear of a sudden event. Remember, the damage is not permanent. Your body's ability to heal is far greater than anyone ever told you. It is never too late to start rebuilding your armor. Are you ready to take the first step today? A new day for your vascular health begins the exact moment you decide to actively protect it. When you protect the microvessels, the entire system thrives. Every organ, every muscle, every thought. This is what we are fighting for. The energy to enjoy the best years of our lives without fear. You want to be like that sturdy bridge, flexible enough to handle the pressure, strong enough to endure. Lowering inflammation is the secret weapon. It extinguishes the fire inside your vessels. Now, a crucial warning: never stop your current medications blindly. That is dangerous. Medications are your life raft. They keep you safe while you work on repairing the ship itself. Once your internal armor is rebuilt, you and your doctor can discuss safely adjusting your doses. The goal isn't just surviving. The goal is thriving with flexible, youthful arteries. Now I want to hear from you. After watching this, what is the one thing you will do differently tomorrow morning to protect your hidden armor? Tell me in the comments below. You've been there, haven't you? Sitting in that chair, holding a paper that says everything is normal, yet feeling like something is deeply wrong. Your doctor glances at your cholesterol, nods, and tells you to keep doing what you're doing. But why does walking to the mailbox feel like climbing a mountain? Stop trusting the paper more than your own body. A standard blood test is often blind to the silent storm brewing in your vessels. Standard tests are like that security camera. They watch the lobby, your main bloodstream, but they completely miss the robbery happening in the vault, your microvessels. Under the surface, even when your blood looks clean, the biological armor protecting your artery walls is being stripped away molecule by molecule. Just because the dashboard light isn't on doesn't mean the engine is healthy. Standard labs don't measure. You wake up in the middle of the night with a racing heart or cold feet. Your labs say you're what standard tests only measure the sugar floating in the blood. They don't see the sugar that has already... Think of your arteries like this old hose. A pressure test might say the water is flowing, but it can't tell you how close the hose is to snapping. Your labs show a normal white blood cell count, but they don't show that those cells are currently trapped, causing hidden inflammation that stiffens your heart every minute. This is a warning. Relying on normal results while ignoring your symptoms is the most dangerous trap for seniors in America today. You're looking for answers in pills and papers, but the truth is hidden in your pulse pressure, the gap your doctor often ignores. Your blood flow might be normal on paper, but your vessels have lost their voice, the nitric oxide that tells them to relax and expand. A standard lab is like looking at the paved road. It looks perfect, but underneath, the structure, your vascular integrity, is crumbling silently. Have you ever felt dizzy when standing up fast, even though your doctor says your numbers are great? That is the sound of a system that can no longer adapt. Labs don't measure microcirculation. They don't see the billions of tiny rivers that are drying up, starving your brain of the oxygen it needs to stay sharp. This is the stiffness gap. Your heart is pumping harder just to get blood through these rusted pipes. This hidden stress is what leads to sudden events. Cold hands and feet aren't just a sign of getting older. They are a sign that your microvessels are losing their biological armor, and your doctor's blood test missed it. Inflammation is the silent fire. Standard labs only catch it when the whole building is burning. We need to see the smoke before the fire starts. Tell me, when was the last time you felt truly energetic for the entire day? Normal shouldn't feel this tired. Your body is like this clock. On the outside, everything looks on time, but inside, the friction is destroying the mechanism. The most dangerous events don't wait for your next appointment. They happen in the gaps between your normal results. A stiff artery sends a shockwave back to the heart with every beat. Standard blood pressure cuffs can miss this hidden violence completely. Every time your heart pumps against a stiff vessel, it's like this glass. The stress is cumulative. It's not a matter of if, but when. You can have plenty of water or blood, but if the delivery system is broken, the life inside withers. Your organs are that plant. Your A1C test might be normal, but your daily insulin spikes are quietly scorching your vascular armor every time you eat a healthy muffin. This is what normal aging looks like to most doctors. But it's not normal. It's a slow-motion disaster that can be stopped if you know where to look. We don't want to just exist. We want to be there for the weddings, the graduations, the moments that matter. Stagnant blood is a danger zone. Standard labs miss these. Listen to the silence of your symptoms. The fatigue, the coldness, the dizziness. They are telling you the truth that the paper is hiding. Your cells are like this plant. They are gasping for oxygen, but the normal blood flow on paper isn't reaching them. Pulse wave velocity is the gold standard of vascular health, yet it's almost never measured in a standard clinic. Why are we playing a guessing game with your life? You're told to exercise more, but if your pipes are stiff, exercise can feel like a death sentence. We have to soften the pipes before we can run the engine. Ignorance is not bliss. It is the curtain that hides the reality of your aging arteries until it's too late to turn back. Calcium score, arterial stiffness, pulse pressure. These are the numbers that matter after 65. Is your doctor even talking about them? You are not a lab report. You are a living, breathing system that deserves precision and truth. Can you hear it? The hope that comes when you stop chasing normal and start chasing optimal. In the next part, I will show you the exact lifestyle changes that act like this sunrise, reversing the stiffness and restoring the light. Are you ready to stop being a victim of normal and start regaining control over your future? Tell me, how old were you when your doctor last said your labs were big? Have you noticed those small bruises that take weeks to heal? Your doctor says your blood work is fine, but your skin is telling a different story. Standard tests check the water, your blood, but they never check the filter, your glycocalyx. A clean stream doesn't mean a working filter. Every beat of your heart is a collision. Without that biological armor, your blood cells are literally wounding your arteries from the inside.
Stop waiting for a red number on your lab report to take action. By then, the structural damage is already decades deep.
You're told it's just edema or part of aging, but those swollen ankles are a direct signal that your microscopic vessels have lost their integrity. Your cholesterol score is the paint. It looks beautiful. But the stiffness in your arteries is the termite damage, invisible until the structure collapses. This is isolated systolic hypertension. Your labs might not flag it, but your heart is fighting a war against a rigid pipe. That brain fog isn't just senior moments. It's your brain's microvessels failing to deliver fuel because they've become brittle and narrowed. A standard test is a snapshot in the sun. It doesn't see the curtain of stiffness that is slowly closing off your vitality. Standard labs measure the highways, but they never look at the back roads, the capillaries where life-saving oxygen is actually exchanged. One number tells the truth your labs hide. It's called, you see two numbers, but it's the distance between them that reveals the real age of your arteries. A wide gap is a red alert. When the gap between your top and bottom numbers grows, your vessels are like this overstretched spring. They've lost their snap. This vibration damages your brain and kidneys every single second. And your doctor calls your labs. You're told to exercise more. But without fixing the stiffness first, exercise is like redlining a car with a rusted transmission. Inflammation is the dust. It settles quietly. Standard tests only see it when it turns into a mountain. This is the vascular sunburn. It creates the stiffness that leads to sudden strokes. And your standard blood test can't feel the heat. Tell me, how many times have you been told it's just age when you knew it was something more? Answer me in the comments. You want the truth, not a normal result on a paper that hides the reality of your aging heart. Your body is the watch. The gold case is your standard lab report. It looks perfect, but inside, the friction is destroying your future. But there is hope. We are moving beyond the front. Are you ready to stop being a victim of a lab report and start being the architect of your own vascular health? In the next part, the fog clears. I will show you the exact measurements that actually matter and how to reclaim your vitality. We aren't just lowering numbers. We are protecting the brain, the heart, and your independence. Tell me your story. How long has your doctor been saying you're fine while you felt anything but? Let's talk below. Now forget the fear. We are going to build your biological armor back, piece by piece. Are you ready to start your journey today? Your vessels are not just pipes. They are living forests. And a forest can regrow if you give it the right environment. Think of your arteries like this garden. We aren't just stopping the fire. We are bringing back the water and the life. The first step is to create shear stress. It sounds technical, but it's actually the most powerful medicine you have. Walk. Just 20 minutes a day. Not a marathon, just a brisk, rhythmic walk to tell your arteries to wake up. When you walk, your blood creates a gentle friction against the artery walls. This friction is the master switch for repair. That friction triggers your vessels to produce nitric oxide, the miracle molecule that melts away the stiffness. We are turning your iron pipes back into flexible silk. How many steps did you take this morning? Next, the fuel. You can't rebuild a house without bricks. Dark berries and leafy greens are the raw materials for your armor. Suddenly points to the lens. These antioxidants act like microscopic fire extinguishers, putting out the pain. This is the green light for your heart. Every green leaf you eat is a repair crew going to work on your vessels. And the secret ingredient? Hydration. Thick blood is like sandpaper. Thin, hydrated blood is like a cooling breeze. Flush out the toxins. Water keeps the germ. Look at that. The forest is returning. This lush layer protects you from strokes and heart failure better than any pill alone. Finally, the breath. Deep breathing is the breath. Calm the storm inside. When you breathe, your arteries relax. The back roads are reopening. Oxygen is finally reaching your brain, your eyes, and your heart again. This is why we do it. To be the grandfather who can actually run, not just watch from the sidelines. Tell me, how many of these 3 steps, movement, food, or water, will you improve starting tomorrow? We are restoring the mechanism. You are not just aging, you are renewing. Your vascular age can actually go backwards. Feel that expansion. That is the feeling of safety. That is the feeling of reclaiming your life from the car. You are the architect. Your daily choices are the blueprint for your survival. Flexibility is life. Stiffness is danger. We are choosing flexibility today for a long tomorrow. Every organ in your body thrives when the arteries are soft. This is the ultimate map to longevity. It starts with 1 walk, 1 glass of water, 1 deep breath. Which one will yours be? When your arteries are soft, your heart doesn't have to shout. It hums with efficiency. We are restoring the rhythm of your youth, the rhythm of health. Stiffness is the enemy of movement. Stretching your body stretches your vessels. It all works together. Listen to the vibration of a healthy vessel. This is the sound of protection. Can you hear it? The hope that comes when you stop being a victim and start being the architect. It is never too late. Even if your arteries have been stiff for years, the repair can start right now. When we choose low-sugar whole foods, we stop the acid rain on your vascular armor. The environment stays calm. Make water your main drink. Your arteries will thank you with every beat. You have the map now, the vascular regeneration map. It is simple, effective, and life-saving. Inflammation stops when the armor returns. Your immune system can stop fighting the ghosts of the past. Protection, peace. These are the rewards of a flexible system. The fog of ignorance is lifting. You now know more than most people about why your heart is aging. Slow is good, smooth is life.
A slow pulse wave velocity is the ultimate proof that your repair is working.
Are you ready to start your vote? Then you just snap your. Are you ready to stop chasing?
Tell me, what age were you when you first felt your energy start to fade? Answer in the comments below and let's start rebuilding together.
Expansion. This is what your heart craves. A path that offers no resistance. Be the cable bridge. Strength comes from flexibility, not stiffness. Stiffness is brittle. Every choice is a step. Every step is a repair. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single, flexible step. Protection. This is the reward for following the map. A future where you are in control, not the doctor. Now tell me, what is the one thing you will do differently tomorrow morning to protect your hidden armor? Write it down in the comments. This is the moment of truth. You can choose to ignore these signs, or you can choose to act before the storm hits. Points a finger at the lens bend. Knowledge is your lighthouse. But knowledge without action is just a light that no one follows. Your body is waiting for your command. It wants to repair the damage. It wants to breathe again.
Listen to me clearly. I am not telling you to throw away your pills. That would be a catastrophic mistake. Medication keeps you safe today, but lifestyle keeps you alive tomorrow. Always consult your specialist before making any changes.
Think of your medicine as the life raft. It buys you time to fix the ship, your vascular system, from the inside out. The goal is stability, a system that can handle the pressure without snapping. Your health is not a report card from a lab. It is a daily conversation between your choices and your cells. Do not wait for a stroke to tell you that your arteries are stiff. The warning signs are already here in the cold hands and the morning fatigue. Reclaiming your vitality is possible. Every glass of water and every rhythmic walk is a victory for your brain and heart. A new day for your health doesn't start with a pill. It starts with a decision. I've seen thousands of seniors regain their independence by simply protecting their internal armor. You can be one of them. Your arteries were designed to be flexible. Let's give them back the nitric oxide they've been starving for. We are reinforcing your structure. We are making you resilient enough to enjoy the best years of your life. You are not a burden. You are a treasure to your family. Protect your life because they still need you. This is what precision saves. These moments, these memories, this is the real normal we are fighting for. Keep the engine running smoothly. Don't wait for a breakdown to check what's under the hood. Every organ, every muscle, every thought depends on this flow. Protect the microvessels and you protect everything. Now I have a question for you, and I want you to be honest. How old are you, and which of the signs I mentioned today did you recognize in yourself? Write your answer in the comments. Let's start a real conversation about the truth your lab reports are hiding. Stability, flexibility, independence. These are not just words. They are your birthright. Don't let another day pass in the dark. Take that first step tonight. Remember the invisible defender. Protect your glycocalyx, and it will protect your life. Release the tension. Open the channels. Regain your control. One last thing. What is the ON lifestyle change you are committing to right now? Type it in the comments. It starts with a glass of water. It starts with you. Your heart is waiting for your answer. You have the map now. Don't let it gather dust. Follow the golden path to a flexible, healthy future. The repair starts now. Let the light in. Let the stiffness go. You've got this. I'll be seeing you in the comments. Your story starts today. Precision saves lives, and your life is worth every second of it. See you in the next video.